Be showing some works every day of items that you can make from items you have in home. The first work, is going to be basting. That's going to be transferring water from one container to another using a baster. Practical life is an extremely important part of our classroom. It teaches so many things. First of all, it develops the strength in the hands and the hand-eye coordination, getting that hand ready for writing. It also develops attention to detail, organization, all of those things that are required for high level and executive functioning. This is our first work. It's basting. You can see I just pulled a couple bowls from my kitchen. I have a baster. You can use a big turkey baster, or you can use one of these. I know a lot of people use the nose Frida now, but if you have one of these lying around, it's wonderful for this work. And of course, you're going to need something for the child to clean up with. Now, I have all of this together on a tray, mostly because I have a tray available. When you do water work, you want to have some place dedicated where you're not going to get upset if the child gets something wet. You have to remember that this is a process that they're learning, not necessarily that they've mastered. So there are going to be spills. Practical life isn't, though, only for our youngest children. You know, it does build its way up to more difficult work, including sewing, cooking. But right now, our practical life work I'm showing today is one of the most basic. But also children who are doing big work in our classroom. Banking addition, the strip board, word buildings, all kinds of spelling sentences. They come back after a time of deep concentration to practical life. There's something very calming about these repetitive movements of the muscle, something that joins the body to the mind. When I'm having a stressful day at work, I often will go back and start working in practical life. These things, the repetitive motion, are just so calming. So I'm going to show you our presentation for transferring water with a baster. The one thing that children really have difficult realizing is that they have to keep the tip of the baster inside the water. Squeeze. They love these noises. And let go. You can draw attention to the water in the baster, but since you are home and busy working, I would let the child make all these observations themselves. I would just point out to the child that if they're not really getting any water in their baster, that because they have to keep the tip inside. So once they've transferred all the water from the left to the right, now, the reason we move from left to right in Montessori is because that is how we read, and that's the structure of our writing as well. We're getting the children automatically to track from left to right, but we will have them come back from right to left. So the children are free to transfer the water as much as they want. If they're attracted to this work, it's fulfilling something, a need that they're having developmentally. Okay, now the most important thing I have on my tray is something to clean up with. And we'll have the children move the bowls off the tray. And this is also a very important part. We will have the children clean up top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, and all around the perimeter. This isn't necessarily the purpose of this procedure is to really avoid the child who cleans over and over again. I mean, they've got their heart in it and they're really working hard. However, they're not being successful. By having them move again from left to right, and then going around the perimeter is showing them a way to be successful when they clean. Okay? Now, sometimes the children, most of the time the children will try to put their work away without cleaning. They do not, that is something that out of all of the things I've shown you is the most important. That is the attention to detail, the task completion. We need the children to start learning that there is a beginning and a middle and an end. Now, I have this kind of miso soup bowl from my kitchen. I don't know how many of you have it. I'm suspecting a good portion of you have it living in this county. It's ideal for this work. And this kind of container is also ideal, especially if you're going to use eyedroppers that you get from perhaps your child's liquid medicine, or if you have an eyedropper left over from makeup serum or something like that. So the idea is just to have the child transfer the water, but mostly to have a sense of task completion by cleaning up. I would not leave this tray, maybe during this time where the children are going to be home more, if you have a dedicated shelf for your child where they know that this is the work that they can do when you are busy with your own work, that they can take it to a table and bring it back and clean it up. Smaller trays, smaller bowls, all work fine. I really think setting up a place for your child to have work that they can go pull at any time. They're used to this. This is part of the things that we do at school. If they can't find something to do, please do not accept the excuse that they're bored. They are responsible for their own engagement. And when children at school are new, we don't hear it from returning children, but when children are first new, we often hear, "I'm bored." And my response is, "Oh, please, tomorrow bring your imagination." Children that have purposeful work become engaged, and there's a big difference between engagement and entertainment. And hopefully during this period, you will find out that the children are actually more imaginative. They focus deeply and can concentrate more than you would ever think. Thank you.